Good evening, all. Welcome to issue. I forgot what we're going to say now. Issue 20 and 21. And here is Penny.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Welcome to the show. Today we're building issue 20 and 21. Sorry, I just forgot to say anything. Really, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I'm very rushed this morning. I've been doing all sorts, and I just completely lost track of time, and I haven't done most of the stuff I want to do. And here come the violins. Then you can't get everything done. So yeah, looking forward to tonight because I remember the last few issues have been really good, really exciting. I haven't had a chance to look through the magazine, but I just know it's going to be fantastic. So do you want me to just quickly run through the comments, Adrian?
Yeah, you can do.
Okay, so we've got Love Minis, looking forward to the build. Fleetwood J, good evening, hope everyone's well. Fleetwood J, hi, Chris Campbell, hi everyone who's helping you tonight. Chris Campbell says, I've been practicing the StreamYard, so my next stream will be using it. I think you won't look back. Once you've done one or two streams, it's just so much easier. I keep saying the same things over, but there's a couple of things I do like Google Hangouts on, but on the whole, it's Google Hangouts you give it about 7 out of 10. This is definitely a 9. So Steve Graham says hello everyone. Chris Campbell says have fun. Sorry, gotta go. And Fleetwood J is doing his first live stream on Sunday, so I will try and catch that if I can. Chris Davies says hi Penny, and then hi Adrian, and that is the chat caught up with. So yeah, I'm ready whenever you are, Adrian.
Okay.
So you'll see me looking back every now and again. I've been having real problems with my printer, and I found a big lump in the nozzle. So I cleaned it all out. I've got some new parts coming, but it's the stock parts that I think are failing. But I've had it 2 or 3 months, so if this sorts it all out, that'll be better. So right, yeah, whenever you.
I'm just reorganising my light. That's all.
That's fine. Yeah. Because are we still going for the shiny is better than no light?
Yeah, it's hard thing at the moment.
No, that's fine.
I know there's an oblong one I could try. That's £15. Problem is, it's not the sort of plug I'll be cutting it off.
Right. Is it a Chinese plug?
No, it's a UK plug.
Okay.
It's a big lumpy one.
All right. Okay.
When it's a big lumpy plug, it's got a transformer in it.
Because if you ever get a Chinese plug and you need it cutting off and replacing with a UK plug and the house nearly blowing up, I'm the person for that, don't you? Yeah. So yeah, lesson learned there.
Right. Is the lighting all right, everyone?
Yeah, I think that's okay. There's a little bit of light bounce. You've pushed it just right to the left-hand side, so it's not interfering with the part so much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if you push it too far, it's going to go dark. So it's better to have it. Yeah, actually, that's really good, Adrian. I like that. I was going to say it's better to have the light spot in a spot where you're not looking than to have it too dark. But
yes.
yeah, no, that's really good. Chris Davies, I haven't got any double-sided sticky tape. Is that something you can pick up in Poundland? Sorry, I've got hiccups now.
I think so, yes. I'm sure they might have it.
Oh, that's better. Oh, I had my new cleaner start today. I've been looking for cleaner for ages, and I've finally asked my the girl who moved in, well, the couple that moved in next door. So she started today. I said we're not actually going to do an awful lot. We're just pretty much going to be doing. Well, we've cleared a pathway, so I can now get to the toilet without killing myself and tripping over stuff. But we've just kind of had a little pop at the room, and then we've made a little target what to do each week, and then that's what we'll get on the following week. So yeah, really good stuff now. I'm really happy. Right, so whenever you're ready, you can pop up my screenshot, and then I can go through the magazine. Right, so that is the magazine, and this week we are going to assemble assemble and mount the head motor supports. So if I just, as you probably remember, probably know my lower screen is below the shelf. So the parts that we've got this week is piece number 1, the motor support. This looks familiar. Oh, of course it does.
I did show them last week, roughly.
Of course it was. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I'm looking at? And I'm like, did we do this last week? Now remember, this was the.
No, we didn't do it. We just went rough. We just showed the parts off.
Yeah, yeah. It's clipped. So you've got piece 21 and 22, which is the motor support and motor casing, which we speculated will go together to form a circle.
Yes.
And then we've got piece number 3 and piece number 4, which is the left-hand bracket and the right-hand bracket. Now, they do look different.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they look absolutely identical, except for a little nobule. There's one there, and then instead of being there,
and if you look on the back,
does it say L&R on it?
Yes, they do.
See, that's a good little touch there, isn't it? So with that, you should get 3 PB 2x6mm screws. So that should be 2 and then 1 spare.
Yeah.
And 8 PM 2x4mm screws. So we should need 7 and 1 spare.
Correct.
Okay, and we will also need a crosshead screwdriver, tweezers, the head assembly from issue 18, and the motor assembly from issue 19. So that's nice. I do like when they say get parts from previous issues, because it means we're putting things together. So we have a big jumbling mess. There we go. It looks a bit clearer now. Look, it looks like someone's taking a shot with a bazooka. So stage 1, take the head assembly from issue 18. Identify the 3 screw sockets outlined. I can't see the outline on that. Can you see where it is? Oh, there. Is that them there?
Yeah. Okay. If you look at the image, you've got it highlighted a bit more.
Is it just I've got it a little bit small, is it?
Probably.
Oh, it doesn't look like there's any highlighting, but I can see 3 sockets. So that's fine, as long as there's 3 sockets.
Yep.
Okay, and let's make that smaller again. I wish I could do this with buttons, you know. If anyone knows any keys that I can press to make it bigger and smaller, that would be appreciated. So we've identified the 3 screw sockets outlined at the back of the head. Oh, do you know what? I'm sorry, I feel daft now. There they are. They're highlighted in the second picture, not the first one. Align the screw sockets in the base of the motor support, which is piece 1, with the screw sockets on piece 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
there's the 3 holes.
Lovely.
Here's piece 1. And you'll find it'll go on like so.
Okay, so once that's on, we want to fix the motor support in place with 3 PM 2x4mm screws, again outlined.
Yes, in step 2.
There looks like there's going to be an awful lot going into a small space.
Yes.
Because the thing is with these parts is that they're using standard parts, regardless of, you know, if it was a full-size head, there would obviously be the same parts going in, but there would be a lot more room to put them in.
So I just got out the wrong head. I was thinking, why didn't this one fit?
So I'm guessing actually it's cheaper for them to do a 1:2 scale Terminator than it would be to do a smaller scale, because they're using off-the-shelf parts. So if they
yes,
a 1:3 or 1:4 scale, they would then have to have servos and motors specially made, and that would increase the cost. So bigger is actually cheaper.
all the parts might be already on the shelf. Problem is they could be more cost effective.
Yeah. But if they
if you compared servo motors as on the radio control cars,
yeah,
could be one size, could be a certain price, and you went for a smaller one.
Tends to be just a servo, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends if they had to go smaller servos, basically.
Yeah, well, smaller servo. I don't know if they make the smaller servos. I know they make bigger ones, but they tend to use the ones that you've got. I have, because I've been doing some updating for another project, so I'm being quoted like names and stuff, and I'm guessing that that's either an MG or an SG. Sorry, MG90 or an SG90 servo. I haven't quite figured out what they mean, but I'm under the impression there's a meaning. There's a difference between the SG and the MG.
Right. That's
Right.
step 2 done.
Okay. So the next step is to fit the motor assembly. This is step 3, by the way. Fit the motor assembly from issue 19 into the motor support 21, which is the one that you've just fitted, isn't it? As you do this, the peg on the side of the motor housing must slot into the loop on the motor head joint. So there is the joint you've just assembled, and that's the part you're putting there, 19.1, and it's, oh, I see, yeah. So there's a little oval hole bit. What would you call that? It's sort of a guide, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's got to go into there. So it's a little bit of precision work, lots of dry testing, dry fitting, and I'm guessing what the next stage would be. And what I'll do is I will get that ready for the next bit, if you want. But
yeah, so that pops in there like so.
I will keep that now. We'll keep that on screen. Are you guys all right with this instructions being the way it is now? I quite like it, because I like, obviously a lot of people might be following along, so you'll actually have the magazine yourself, but I think that's small and big enough that you can still see it, but small enough that we can focus on what Adrian's doing.
Yes.
So is that as fiddly
I
as
dare say.
Do you want to just change the view, Adrian, so we've got you a bit bigger?
Well, I disassembled it and put it in, and I've took it back to you, by the way.
Okay, then. I would say just keep the view so that the instructions are smaller, unless people actually say, no, we want them bigger.
Okay.
Now, remind me, did we
Right.
get a test thing with this, a little battery pack?
No, only for the lights.
Ah, okay, then.
It would be nice if they had like a circuit board basically test something along the line. Not
Yeah,
just test the motor sort of thing.
I'm sure that'll come now. Right, so how are you getting on? Is that in?
That's in.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be any screws involved in that.
Not at the moment.
Is that like slotting in?
Yep.
Okay, if you're happy with that, then stay. Well, there seems to be a bit of a lag between you and me. Hello, Dave Milne. How are you? Oh, and Dave say so. We didn't say hello. Right. So step 4 is to fit the barrel of the motor 19.4. So that's the big silver part into the motor. Oh, I see. Into the motor support with the peg on the motor housing 19.1 through the loop. And then step 5 will be to fit the motor casing part 2 from this issue over the barrel of the motor. Note that one curved edge of the casing has a slight rib, and that looks like it's going to be near the top, which should go to the back of the motor, fixed in place with 2 PB by 6mm screws. So basically what we're doing is we're going to clamp that motor in place.
Yes.
Excuse me. Dave Mill had a ride on a PD2 bus today at Beamish. So I am very jealous to the point I may not talk to him anymore unless he shows us all pictures. That's it. If there aren't pictures, it didn't happen.
Yes. Have you got any proof to say?
Yeah, need proof. We don't believe you. Oh.
Don't tell me. Just sent you some.
No, I'm just getting a bit fed up with Android. I've just checked my phone, and the last couple of weeks I've been getting adverts pop up on the phone. It's not a major problem. I just hit the home button and it disappears. But what's now happened is that there seems to be calendar entries been put into my calendar without my permission, and it says, have you won an iPhone 1856 at Best Buy? And that I kind of object to, because I don't want that. There's a reason I use my calendar, and it tends to be for work.
Oh, yes. Can you reply and say a 2-worded sentence?
No, but what I have managed to do is I've gone to delete it, and it's a series of events. So I've deleted them all in one go, but it's I don't mind junk. You know, we've usually you have the option to turn it off, and you know, if I buy things at a great deal and it's something super cheap, I welcome the occasional bit of junk mail because they might be offering me something else at cut price. But I don't go in for these have you won an iPhone and things like that, because you usually find you've got to press about 58 buttons and give your email address to 4 million people, and then that's just to find out you didn't win this time.
Right, I've done that.
Okay, that's looking hefty now, Adrian. Right, so we want to take, oh, Oh, that looks interesting. So we take the left-hand bracket, piece 3 from this issue. Note that the left-hand bracket has a screw socket on the upright arm, close to the angle of the bracket. That, at this point, looks like it's not actually going to fit in there. I'm sure it will.
I think.
See, I knew when we said today, if there's no pictures that didn't exist, I knew he'd come back. Yeah, I got the pictures. You can have a look at them. What we'll do is we'll rub salt in the wounds there. And here's loads of powder. Took 400.
Right, yes.
Is that a little bit tricky, Adrian?
No, I thought it might be tricky, but
Okay, we are only aligning it in
there
at
is
the
a
moment.
pin you got to locate up there as well.
Right, okay, so we can guess what step 8 is going to be. With your 14th arm that you've just grown to help you with this build, hasn't it? Okay, the tab with the screw socket at the front of the bracket will fit in front of the screw socket on the top of the head. This is a locating hole in part number 3, which matches a locating peg on part 1, 2, shown above by the blue arrow. So I'm guessing then that that is coming from the back of the head round and attaching to the eye socket.
Guess.
Ah. So that's going to make that eye socket a lot more rigid. Is that part, that bracket, is that metal, by the way?
Yes, these are
Right.
metal. The other parts were plastic.
Okay. Right. So you've got that lined up, yeah?
Yes.
So that bracket looks like it's going to come around the front of the eye socket, which it does. So step 9, fix the front of the bracket number 3 in this issue in place with a PM 2x4mm screw from behind, so that the flat end of the screw is flush with the front of the bracket. Okay. So
I'm glad you said it says from behind, as I did so. Someone tried to put it in the front. Well, a lot of people tried to put it in the front and they realised, oh, it wasn't fixing on properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would have attempted that from the way you've just done it, because it says fix the front of the bracket in place with a PM 2x4mm screw from behind. So from behind is your screwdrivers at the back of the head and the screws at the front of the head.
Yes.
Okay. So are you ready for the next step?
Yep, well, I'm about to do it.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you just show us the front of that screw, but from the front of the head?
Yep, certainly.
Just want to see, how does that stick out? Does it show?
No, it doesn't stick out.
It looks like it's about 1/2 mm shorter than the, another 1/2 mm, it'd be flush with the bracket. It's in enough to catch that bracket.
Yes, it's in enough, and
yeah, but not long enough.
If I run my nail over it, I do feel it.
Yeah, but not long enough to be sticking out from beyond the front.
Correct. Yeah.
So do us a favor, give it a quick wiggle. How secure is that? Because it doesn't seem to have been secured at the back, does it?
Has not yet.
Right, but look, there's a screw hole there, is there?
Yes.
Okay, that don't half look odd. It's just made his whole head look square.
Yes. It could be those with two of them. There's going to be a progressive support at the tops of something.
Yeah. What do you think? Probably circuit board or something then, do you think?
Well, I reckon the circuit board on the back Other people reckon there might be a battery pack going in there.
Interesting.
It's a good
Yeah.
prediction.
It's got to get the power from somewhere, but do you, hang on, no, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, because if you've got a battery pack, then you've got to change the batteries, haven't you?
Yes, but
Hang on.
you'll
So
find out more in the next issue.
let me just catch up with what you're doing. So at the back of the head, the screw socket on the short arm of the bracket should align with the screw socket in the back of the head on part 5.1, fixed in place with a PM 2x4mm screw. Now we're using 7 of these screws, aren't we?
Yes, we've already used 3. These ones.
Of course we have, yes. Yeah.
Bother.
Did that not go in well?
Oh no, it's all right. So okay, you know it did go in, all right?
Okay.
No, I thought so those 2 ones there meant to be the long ones. Of course, no, the long screws weren't there. I just forgotten about. I just basically lost myself what I was doing. Right.
We have got a treat for you later on. I'm going to be showing images from people's days out without their permission. So step 11, pretty much the same as the last few steps. You want to take the right hand bracket, piece 4 in this issue. Again, it's easily identified because of the screw socket near the bottom of the shorter arm. Obviously, it's also easily identified because it's the only bracket left.
Of course.
Excuse me. Right, okay, so that looks like the circuit board is going to go on the back. I'll explain that in a moment. So we need to repeat steps 9 and 10 to fix the right hand bracket 4 in place. So 9 is to fix it with a there we go. So from behind we need to attach a PM 2x4mm screw, and then from the back we want another PM 2x4mm screw.
Yep.
So it looks like you're really taking the time making sure it's lined up, which will probably save you a bit of time later on by not getting it wrong in the first place.
Correct.
I mean, I can already see that this is the last bit of this stage. Now, it's taken us half an hour to do this on stream, which is obviously slower. So you really can you've got plenty of time to do this if you're sitting at home. I don't know how long everyone thinks is a reasonable amount of time to do a build, but I say 20 minutes to half an hour a week. So this you could probably knock out in 10 minutes. So take your time, take 20, 30 minutes doing it. Check the parts twice. And now that's making more sense.
Now, if I put the head on, because you've got a lovely void there.
Yeah, well, the reason I said circuit board might go behind, if you look at the position of those 2 screws, they look like opposite corners of a square. And
Guess.
that's how they tend to plug in circuit boards, isn't it? 2 opposite corners. So, but my initial thought was that wiring was going to go down the spine, because that's a pretty good place to hide it, isn't it?
Or wiring could come out of those and down.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get that wiring out now, are you?
That's why I reckon caves might 1 or 2 cables might feed up through there or through there.
Right.
I
I just think
that's
if they're going to put circuit boards and batteries and things in the head, then is that the only bit that's actually going to be powered?
No, I reckon it'd be more power somewhere else.
Right.
It could, I don't know. It could be a void for something like, you never know, or a cable might,
Yeah,
one wire might come out through there.
I just would have thought that everything would have come off the same power supply.
It depends how big a battery it needs, doesn't it?
We'll see in future issues, won't we?
Yes.
So that is that stage complete, and obviously you putting the head on, it makes sense, but it's just adding size to that head every week that we add something. It just seems to be a little bit bigger. You know, when we first built the eyes, my first thought was, well, there's no way this is 1 to 2 scale, and then we add a bit more, and now I'm starting to think maybe it's going to be bigger than 1 to 2 scale. You know, a large head. So it is growing. So
yeah,
should we pretend we're not doing next week's just for 5 minutes, and we'll have a look at the next week's issues?
Certainly. Hang on,
This is really fun for me. I don't look at the magazines pre-stream, so I genuinely have no idea what's coming in the next issue. So I'm, even though you lot are probably all laughing and you know what's coming, I can have a little speculate. So we've got additional components for head assembly and a new joint. So we've got 2 pieces on a sprue that we can see in the top right. We've got that's obviously a joint, that bit on the top left, because I've now been doing this long enough to know that those pieces in the bottom left are going to go, hang on, let me get it, it's going to go inside there. They're like shaped washers, aren't they? And then don't know what they're, now that's got the letter R on it, so that's going to be an arm or a leg, I would guess.
That is.
Are you knowing what it is?
Yes.
Of course you do. You've looked, haven't you? But if it's got an R on it, there'll be an L. If there's only one piece, it doesn't need an R on it. So I would guess that's an arm or a leg. Hopefully an arm.
It's the top of the shoulder.
Okay.
Joint.
So near the arm then. Close to the arm. Reminds me of a joke. Where did Napoleon keep his armies?
I don't know.
Up his sleeves. Right, so this is the cover of issue 21. Always the same every week, aren't they? Just with a different number. So we have got assemble the right shoulder joint and connect up the skull. Now I'm excited. So the pieces we have got in this issue, we'll begin building the right shoulder, tidying up the jaw joint and connecting the head to the top of the skull. So we are close to finishing the head then.
Yep.
Lovely. So the first part we'll need is a right shoulder joint, and that's the piece of the
that is metal. Oh yeah, let me just.
That's fine, Dave. I'll bring the picture up later on unless you object. It's a very nice stuff anyway. Right, so we have a metal joint, pieces number 2, right shoulder joint fitting. They're the little black pieces, the shaped washers, I'm going to call them.
Yes.
Excuse me.
They're basically designed to stop taper grip against each other, sort of thing. Well, the surface against them.
Okay, so those 4 little pieces have now become 2 lots of 2 little pieces. So we've got, I'm guessing they're identical, just a different size. You've got metal shaft. The ones on the right are larger than the ones on the left, which is piece 4, metal shaft, smaller. And And I'm going to guess they're metal because they're called metal shafts.
Yes.
Bit of a giveaway, wasn't it? And then piece number 5, which I'm going to guess are plastic because they're on a sprue. Lower jaw joint covers. So we're going to screw a bit of the head in, and then we're going to cover the screw up with those, are we?
Well, they're to cover the mouth joint.
Right.
Jaw
Okay.
joint.
Lastly, we've got just the 3 screws. We've got 3 PM 2x4 mils, and obviously 1 is spare. So we're only going to need 2 screws today.
Yes.
So we need a crosshead screwdriver, tweezers, craft knife and cutting mat, super glue gel, cocktail sticks or similar, and the skull assembly from issue 17. And I'm guessing the craft knife is to cut those pieces off the sprue. So I would actually be looking at sprue cutters myself.
Here we go.
Yeah. And then just trim it up with a knife or a file once you've cut them off. I have a slightly different way of cutting. I don't go right up to the edge of the piece. I go about 1 mil or 2 from it, and then I'll just finish it off with a file. But that's my way of doing it. Copy me if you want or not.
Oh, yeah, it's person's choice, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm just worried sometimes, especially like when I used to do the older, cheaper model aircraft kits. You can go right up to the end up splitting the actual piece that you want to use. So right, just bear with me one sec. So I've got a glimmer of optimism. Oh no!
It's failed.
No, it hasn't failed. Oh, right. No, sorry, right. The printer has been playing up. I've been running the printer now for a couple of hours, and it hasn't. You get like a blockage, and what happens is the extruder clicks, and it hasn't clicked for ages. And I just went to have a look at it, and as I got to the printer, it just went click. I'm like, bugger. So anyway, back to this.
Couldn't you try and put? Oh no, it's the filaments in the tube. You couldn't try and push it in through, could you?
No, it's I've got other ideas I want to try, but they all take time. And but what I'll do is I'll wait for this print to completely fail, because sometimes it recovers itself. Not to worry.
Right, Phil.
So step 1, after test fitting the parts, apply a tiny drop of super glue to the sides of the 4 studs on the back of one of the shoulder joint fittings, piece 2 of this issue. So did you do a test fit?
No, I'm afraid I did not.
You're a rebel, Adrian.
Because some people, after the test fit, it's like your bus. You put a screw in under the floor. You realise you want to take it back out again, but you couldn't.
Right, okay.
That's why I'm not test fitting it.
Okay.
I'm taking a gamble. It will fit.
Do I have permission to laugh at you if it doesn't fit? No, that would be mean.
Well, anyone in the chat, they can laugh about it.
Okay. Tell you what we'll do. We'll laugh behind our screens quietly. How's that for compromise? So step 2 will be to fit the shoulder joint, piece 2, into the center of the shoulder joint. Just one word I can't manage. Ensuring that the 4 studs on part 21.2 fit into the 4 sockets in part 21.1.
Well, Chris Campen, he basically had to do it off stream because he put one in and then he had fun trying to get it out, so he had to do it later.
What issue are we actually up to in real life? Because obviously we've been doing 2 to catch up. So I'm just wondering how far we are from doing just a single issue every week.
Right, the last issue I bought from the shop is issue 26. And all the subscribers,
we're nearly there then, aren't we?
And all the subscribers has received issue 26.
Right.
I'm afraid I have not received both my issues.
No, that's fine. I mean, we'll get. I mean, we were doing 2 issues a week to do catch up because we started part way into the build, and then obviously we had a few problems, mainly caused by me. So we said we'll do a double issue to catch up, and I'm a little bit sad that we're catching up now, because once we get to 1 issue, it's although maybe it's all worked out. My printer just clicked.
Well, just
I
again.
think my E-steps are out actually.
Right. That is done.
That is done. Can we have a look? Or would you rather leave it for the glue to set?
Well, I'm not. It's not a joint you can actually move about. It's there you can basically to show.
Yeah.
Right on. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine then. So that's all right. So step 3, repeat steps 1 and 2 with a second shoulder joint. So remind me, did we get another joint in a previous issue?
No, this is the same joint. Well, we'll do.
So are we going to be doing the other side then?
Right.
Right. Okay. So repeat steps 1 and 2 with the second shoulder joint to fit it into the recess on the other side of the shoulder joint. Gotcha. Right. Okay. So step 4, and that's nicely done actually, because we can now work on something.
Here's another one not done.
Right. Okay. So that one needs it. Is that the one that we're going to be putting? So are we going to be waiting for the washery bits to go into that second one?
Yes.
Right. Okay, that makes sense now.
Well, that's jumping ahead. That's the right. That's the left.
Yeah. Gotcha. Right. It's like a pair of eyes, Adrian. Sorry, just bear with me 1 sec, Adrian. I can't work out if my printer is pulling filament through, so I'm just gonna. I had a bit of masking tape somewhere. What I do, because the rolls of filament are black, and so what I often do is I put like a white stick. Oh, there you go, masking tape. So I'll put a thin strip of masking tape, and then what I do is every couple of minutes I'll just have a little look. And if the masking tape's in a different direction, a different position, I know it's moving. So obviously the masking tape is white. So that's gone again. Right, sorry, Adrian, I'm with you now. I do apologise.
That's okay.
So yeah, from a distance, I can see a bit of white tape on a black background. So step 4 is to cut the 2 lower jaw joint covers from the plastic frame. Take care when using a craft knife. It is advisable to work on a cutting mat or other suitable surfaces. Don't do what I do and cut towards you. You tend to end up with cuts in your thumbs, which is, yeah. That's it. If you're using screw cutters, always hold the part because they do tend to fly.
Yes. Of course, it will gradually go into there. Hmm.
Are you jumping ahead again, Adrian?
Type of thing. Well, I'm doing a test fit.
Okay. Because you do know officially we don't know they fit in there yet. So stage 5, a tiny drop of super glue to the studs of the back of the jaw joint. Is important to keep the recesses free of the glue. And then step 6 will be to take the head assembly from issue 20. After checking the screw is fully tightened, fit the jaw joint cover over the screw and washer in the recess at the top of the lower jaw.
I tightened the screws earlier, if you're just wondering.
Okay.
I had them. So I didn't cut them both off. I just wanted to try one first off. And
That's fine. I would cut them off as I need them. So I'm guessing the next step is to repeat. Yeah. Step 7, repeats 5 and 6 to fit the second jaw cover on the other side of the head. Grip the two covers in place while the glue dries.
because I wanted first off try which way around would be best, because you had 4 holes in there.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember on the black bit where 2 pins were, so I wanted to try it out roughly, see which way would be the better way. First off, that's why I test fitted it first.
So once that glue is dried, you've got no access to those screws anymore.
Correct.
Which is obviously why you made sure that they're tight.
Yes.
Okay, so step 8, check the fit of the larger metal shafts in the holes near the top of the skull. If necessary, use a suitable fine file to make the holes a little larger and remove any excess materials left in the hole in the finishing process. So is there much difference between the larger and the smaller ones?
Yes.
And I can now see why they're metal. Right. Okay. So that's blown my theory about the battery pack, isn't it? because I said if you've got a battery pack on the top of his head, you're not going to access it because it's going to be inside the head. But if you're putting metal parts in, that I'm going to guess there's going to be a magnet involved somewhere.
Correct.
Which will hold the head in place. So you can, right. So you're going to obviously need access to inside the head because they're making it so easy to take out. Take off even.
Correct.
So I'm guessing step 9. Right. So what we're going to do next, and after we've dry fitted those, step 9 will be to remove the shafts and apply a little adhesive to the sides of one hole. Fit the first metal shaft 3 into the hole, and then 10 will be repeat of the second one. And then we repeat that whole process with the smaller shafts.
Of course, they're not magnetic because they wouldn't be sticking to each. If they were magnetic, they'd be sticking.
No, those parts will be metal, but there'll be magnets involved somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's funny because every time I've magnetized stuff, I've always used 2 magnets. But the problem with using 2 magnets is that there's a whole process involved with making sure they're facing the wrong way, because obviously magnets have a north and a south, and they won't stick together the wrong way round, whereas both north and south will stick to metal. It means the connection won't be so strong, but it's a lot easier.
Well, that's the 2 large ones done. Right. Okay.
Looking good.
All 4 of those are done.
So I think that might be it. No, that's not it. Lovely, we've got more to do. So step 10 is apply a little soul skull and glue the 2. So have you done the 2 smaller shafts?
Yes.
Right. So step 12. sorry, step 12, take the skull from step 11 and fit it over the head assembly from issue 20 as shown. Note the fixing points on the jaws circled. The fixing points on the skull are just beneath the two smaller metal slots. So that should in theory fit a little bit better than it did earlier in the stream.
Oh, about the same.
Okay. So no magnets involved then?
No. Just one side doesn't want to really go down. Hang on, I got an idea.
Sorry, what's happened, Adrian?
I can't. Right. As you can see this side, that has gone down nicely.
Okay.
It fits in there nicely. This side here does not want to go down nicely. So
Right.
what I'm
So
going
is
to
the
do...
skull a little bit out of shape, or is it
Good
not,
question.
is it not put in properly, or is one
I'm
part?
actually going... Is that part I can loosen?
See, if you've got a slightly damaged part, you probably wouldn't know till this stage, would you?
Guess you wouldn't know.
So has anybody else had this problem? Well, it's a good job you know your stuff, Adrian, because I probably wouldn't have thought to do that.
Well, go through and...
Work, you know, unscrew
loosen.
screws on a completely different bit. I mean, obviously, it might be different if I've actually got it in my hand, but
Try and loosen something, then right, okay, then see if it'll go in.
yeah, I mean, it could be those L-shaped plates we put in. Can you figure out maybe where it's stopping?
Right, it was actually stopping there.
Right.
But now, if you look, it's gone in now.
Okay, fine. So it was just, you just adjusted the screw, did you? And that went in.
Yes, I just basically
Okay.
loosened.
Oh, so there was a part blocking it, was it? And you loosened it, which enabled that part to move to one side a bit.
Yes.
And you put it back in. Right. Okay. So what's the part?
Now it's in. And now I'm doing it back up again now.
Right. So you probably won't be able to pull that head bit off. I mean, you're not.
Well, I don't know.
Don't try to, Adrian, in case you can. There we go. It might not go in again now. That's kind of why I said don't pull it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
for those of you wanted to see Adrian do that again, here we go.
Well, it's a lot better position now for me to actually put in and out if I need to.
Right. Is it the camera angle? Does that head look a bit lopsided? I think it was camera angle.
Camera angle is fine.
Okay, that's fair
Oh,
enough.
you might find is the neck was a bit of tilting.
Yeah. So when you're happy that that glue is dried and everything works, we need to take the skull from step 11 to the fixing points. Right. Okay. So the next stage then is to fit 2 screws, PM 2x4 mm. Now, I've just paused you there, Adrian. We've got a big red box and it says, make sure the cables are all accessible at the rear of the head.
Right, we've got one there.
I have noticed you keep
That's a
pulling.
dual motor.
Yeah.
That's one eye.
Are they labelled?
That's the other eye. And that's the eye motor. No, they're not.
Right. I have noticed that you're pulling, you know, you're being quite neat with your cables. You're pulling them, you know, you're always wrapping them around the back to get at different bits, which is obviously good practice.
Well, one of them did get caught down there and I had to get out there today. Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
So I always made sure.
Well, that would officially be a trapped nerve, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And that trapped nerves are very painful. So use 2 PM 2x4 mm screws, which is part 6, to fix the skull to the lower jaw. The screw on the left-hand side of the head is circled.
Got that one in so far. Not going to tighten it up yet until I got the other screw in.
So once you've got those screws in, then that's pretty much the hard bit done then, isn't it? Everything's lined up.
Yes. Oops. Right, there we go.
Brilliant. So just lacking a bit on the back of the head, but other than that, it's looking really good, isn't it?
Yes.
He's got that evil smile about him. So stage complete, details have been added to the head and the skull has been fitted to the top of the head. We have also made a start to the right shoulder joint. Actually, that smile, what that reminds me of is when this lady, a couple I used to live with ages ago, and they had a young son, and if he ever stood there looking at you, smiling in that way.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, did you have a good day?
Yeah.
I'll come talk to you later. I'm just streaming.
Oh, it's all right. You're a bit tipsy anyway.
Okay, fair enough. So my neighbours have just come on from a day out of Cardiff. Yeah, so if he stood there looking at you with that smile, you know he's done something. And it would usually be followed something like, Penny, I've accidentally tipped orange juice all over the floor. Or something like that.
Here we go. Very funny. 2 extra lids, the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah. But it makes it more cost effective, doesn't it?
Yes. But the base is slightly different. A sneak preview later,
So
very later
next
date.
week, trying to get a good position on these. So more head work next week. So next week we will connect up the jaw, assemble the face plate, and collect the right shoulder. What context are they using the word connect? Do you think they meant connect?
Collect,
Collect.
not connect. Collecting.
Right. So what context? What context do you think they mean collect? So we've got connect up the jaw.
Or get, probably getting, to be honest, I would say. You're getting.
Okay.
Because I think we don't do anything with it.
Okay, so we've got, looks like, well, I'm going to call that 3 parts, although it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 3 screws, which will obviously be 2 screws. We've got a circly bit, which that's something to do with the jaw, side of the head, face plate. And obviously those screws, they look like some kind of detailing, and they look like they'll be glued on. Oh, you've already got it, have you?
Yes.
So what are we thinking, guys? I thought that was another 2 good issues. I'm just going to close this down now. Oh, I lost my cursor. Trouble with having 2 screens is that you have 2 places your cursor can hide. Right, so I'm just going to try and see if I can pull this picture up.
Why don't you change color your cursor to black?
Because it's on a black background. What I normally do is I just fling my cursor all the way up to the left, top left, and then I work it out from there.
Right.
Computers. That's nice. Dave sent a picture. I didn't realise that. So we have 2 lovely pictures to show you. One is of this one. So this is what Dave Milner's been up to. And they were having a little, the 2 experts ran a little bit of a natter about it. And the other picture we've got is this one, which is an absolute beauty. Is that a type B bus? B type, is it? I started an Airfix kit of one that looked very, very similar to that one. No, it isn't that one. That's a different one, because the one I was doing the kit on, it's got an open cab. So if it rains, the poor old driver's getting, it's going to get soaked. But that's beauty, isn't it?
Yes.
That's when buses were very heavy and couldn't hold many people because most of the weight was taken out with the bus. So that's how it was, wasn't it? It's was it the Route Master revolutionised the weight distribution and stuff? Right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen now, so it might go a bit funny. There we go. It's brought us back. And you can see how my hair goes frizzy when it dries. No, it's gone. It's gone, Adrian. It's left us. Yeah, Dave Say was saying it's a mock-up bus. I did see in the chat earlier on where he said it's modern parts made it, but yeah, it's still outwardly, for the poor old little kids that never got the chance to ride on that years ago, at least they get a chance to go on something that looks similar. So, what's going on there? Just went to take a mouthful of my coffee. There's little bits in the bottom, so I think I'll give that a miss. So now I've just noticed my hair. I jumped in the shower just before the stream, so I started the stream with wet hair, and I have to keep constantly brushing my hair until it dries. Otherwise, it comes out like an afro. So as you can see, so. Yeah, that is a laugh for you, Adrian. At my 4-day weekend, I'm only getting 1 complete day off. admittedly, I asked to work bank holiday Monday, and I've volunteered to do this thing in Cardiff tomorrow. But then my boss, one of my managers, rings up, and I answer the phone. I say hello, and he says, "Penny, #1 spare." I said, "What are you after?" Because he's only nice to me when he wants something. So he says, "Is there any chance you can do Sunday?" And I went, "Not a chance." And he's gone, "Well, not even a bit." I said, "Look," I said, "basically, you're asking me to work my one and only full day off, and it's probably going to complicate the driving hours, because if I work, the way I see it is, if I work, because I've got 7 days work going into my long weekend and then 7 days coming out. If I do something on every day, then that gives me 18 days straight." And
Yes.
I've done route learning today on a new route that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow, obviously, I'm doing this carnival. Sunday, I'd end up working, and then Monday, work would probably say, well, Cardiff doesn't count and the route learning doesn't count. But if they're paying me for today, it does count, doesn't it? I'm just not sure about tomorrow because it's voluntary work. So what are your thoughts, guys, on that build? I'm starting a cliche here now, aren't I? Every week I'm saying, yeah, I've enjoyed that. That's my new favorite issue. So I'm also trying to be careful that make sure I'm not just saying it just because it's 2 issues. Because when we go down to doing 1 issue, it's then going to be, oh, I didn't enjoy that much. It was nice, but it's not as good. And maybe it's just that we're doing 1 issue.
Guess.
Sorry, we're getting click. I panic when I saw my hair clicks. So yeah, so I like that. The head is nearly complete.
Yes.
So what did you think?
At the moment, I think we won't be doing the head. Oh, we've got 1 more part to do on the head. We won't do anything. I don't know, until probably around issue 30.
Yeah, but they're obviously going to space it all out, aren't they?
Yes.
It is nice that we work on different bits, because then we don't get bored of any one particular area. So and then maybe then it would mean that things like remember on the bus, they've done it so that all the electrics are pretty much coming together all at the same point. So we've pretty much finished plugging things into the circuit board. And rather than plugging something in this week and then something else next month and then so on. Did you say you've got your subscriber issues?
Not for my Route Master.
No, for your Terminator.
I got 1 of them.
Okay. Because I heard a rumor that it's a free gift issue.
Yes.
Yeah. And so does that mean...
Hang on.
I am fishing here.
You'd like to see a free gift, would you?
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for offering that, Adrian. This is the part that we've all been wondering about, because I at first I thought this isn't going to fit, because originally this particular free gift was going to be, my God, that's a big box. That's bigger than him. But yeah, originally this free gift was going to be a police car. And that's one of the main reasons I signed up, because I just thought it looked really awesome. They've changed the free gift to a plasma gun. And obviously that gun hasn't been originally designed with the Terminator. It's more of a, not an afterthought, but a replacement. So I'm wondering how it will fit with the hand. But then the hand looks so multi-jointed. I think he could probably hold anything, couldn't he?
Could be, yes.
So Dave says you just get the shoulder bit. What is that of the gift or?
Right.
Where do I get? Oh, sorry, I was accidentally reading the message out loud. Wow, that's huge. That's massive.
Compared to the head?
Wow, that's too big. That's not a 1:2 scale gun, is it? That's actual size, isn't it?
Well, I reckon so.
Wow. Yeah, love minis. You've just summed that one up. Wow, in capital letters. Is he gonna? I mean, I know all Arnold Schwarzenegger films are well known for him having a massive gun, and every film it just gets bigger and bigger. But that's, I think I'm gonna have to rewatch some Terminator films because I don't think that actually appeared in the film, did it? Is it meant to be a gun for him?
I have no idea. Good
'Cause
question.
You can't. I mean, that's a pistol size type gun, isn't it? That's not a rifle or two-handed gun. Oh, wow, his hand does fit.
Yeah, there's his hand, but I don't think it's going to end up supporting it.
Do us a favour, Adrian. You hold the gun as though it's for you. Does it work? Does it feel like?
Right. That's all plastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's plastic. What's
hold-
metal?
Yeah.
It's just this piece along here.
But hold the handle and the trigger. That's too small for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is for the Terminator.
Unless you meant to hold it like they're going to get it to hold it like so.
No,
we don't know until.
That isn't actual size. Right. Fleetwood J says they make guns bigger for the Terminator so humans can't use it against them. But that is massive. I'm really impressed.
Someone's actually taken it apart and weathered it. And painted it.
I was just thinking that actually, but weathering is something that you would do, isn't it? Would some people would do. But no, that is absolutely incredible. What do you think, Adrian? I know you said that you might not be able to support it, but
Yeah, look, to me it looks pretty good. I might weather it. I don't know at the moment.
see, maybe we can do it. We can merge two films now, and we can go. You call that a gun? This is a gun. See if anyone gets a reference. Yeah, no, I really do like that. That's yeah. So if there's anybody out there that doesn't want their free gift,
Oh, here we go. A slight joke, right? Teacher goes to the kids. What does a chicken give you?
what does a chicken do?
Gives you
Okay, don't know.
eggs.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
What does a pig give you?
Pig, pork.
Bacon.
Okay.
What does a big fat cow give you? Mike,
Extra
don't get you in
homework.
school. And this is the teacher saying this.
Extra homework? Too much homework?
Get out of the class.
Yeah. Yeah. Steak. Oh,
When I first heard it, I think, oh, milk.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was that one ages ago? I can't remember it now. But, oh, what was that I read? I was going through my memories on Facebook, and there was something I read that was really funny. Oh, it was something about
Oh, hang on. Before you start talking, I got some here to eat for myself.
oh, I've tried them. They're a bit strange, aren't they? I tell you what, I'll show you my new snack food. It's cheap and it's filling and it's nice. Is anyone noticing that I'm walking through my room without dying or tripping? Obviously, once I get to this bit, it's different, but. Da-da-da! See, it's good for you and it's a nice tasting snack food. And what I do is I come home from work, chuck the kettle on, boil the kettle for my coffee, and just grab a handful of sultanas, and they are really good for you, apparently. But these being the cheaper ones, you do get free stalks with them as well. So
Yeah, that's one.
yeah, this Facebook post from yesterday, it went something along the lines of, "Oh, I hate my job." Unless it's my manager reading this, in which case I welcome the opportunity to progress myself. Thank you very much. Rabbit dropping, yeah. I have been tempted to pick up a load of rabbit dropping them, put them in a sultana bag, and say, "Hey, here's a present." But even I'm not that mean.
All right. Right, how's your printer getting on?
Well,
Doing
I'm
fine?
hearing the odd click, but it doesn't. It seems to be printing. So I don't know, because I did this yesterday, day before, and it's come out okay for the purpose. What I've had to do is I've got all these parts, and excuse me, you don't really know what you're doing with them until you print them off and you can actually physically see them. But I don't know if you can see really poor extrusion.
Ooh.
And that's where the nozzles block them. But since I've done this, I've changed the Bowden tube, I've changed the nozzle. There was a lot of black gunk in it, so I'm wondering if that was perhaps from the flex filament, or if it's just sort of burnt the top of the tube. But I've changed the springs on the bed to nice posh new ones, good ones. But that's caused the problem that the glass bed that I was using, because the springs are stronger, it doesn't go down as much. So I can no longer get the glass plate in because the bed won't go down quite as low. So I've gone back to the old mat. But I was sort of looking at it and I'm thinking, well, I've still got the original stock extruder, and the springs on it are quite soft. So I bought a new metal extruder which comes with an adjustable screw. It's only about 12 quid. And I've bought the last printer I had. There we go. This is a K-Swiss or a micro something Swiss. There's a Terminator plasma rifle on Thingiverse. Lovely. I will look at that. This is a different sort of a hot end. Do you mind me talking 3D printing when we're doing the?
No, it does interest me. I'd like to do it, but I don't have the machine.
Right. What basically happens is your stock extruder, the one that comes with I'll see if I can find one. I've got various bits lying around all over the place. There we go. Right. So this is stock extruder, and the nozzle's on the bottom, and that's where the heater block is. And what happens is the heat creeps up, and then you've got the Bowden tube comes in at the top, and it goes down so far, and then it presses against the nozzle, so that the plastic Bowden tube is touching the hot nozzle. So if you have it running for too long, or you've got high temperatures, it actually starts to melt the Bowden tube. What this does is about this far down, yeah, it's about there, the width of it goes in, so you can only jam that Bowden tube in so far. And then you've got the heater block there, and then you've got a bit of metal there, which is called a heat block. So what actually happens is this bit there is cool, and this bit there is warm. So you've got the hot bit there, the Bowden tube there, and a warm or a cold bit in the middle, so it doesn't melt the Bowden tube. So what that means, and also it's got a longer chamber, which gives the filament longer to melt. Because one of the problems you have, you print something on too high a speed, because it's shoving it through quickly. It's like the principle of if you had a candle lit and you run your hand through it really, really quickly, you won't even feel the warmth, will you? But if you moved your hand really, really slowly, you would end up burning and blistering your hand. And it's that principle with the hot end, that the slower it goes through, the more opportunity it's got to melt to the correct temperature. So I'm buying. It's not the actual proper brand. It's a version of it. So as a result, it's only about 15 quid as opposed to 50 quid, and it's not coming from America, because right now anything coming from America is a really sore subject, because the posh extruder I bought for flexible filament, it was $35 plus $55 shipping, which made it about 70 quid. But now there's a customs fee of 23 quid on it, so it's costing me about £100 for a 35-pound extruder. So right now, me and customs, and yeah, sore subject. So but I now have a workaround thanks to a very, very good friend of mine. So I shall be buying them stuff. But there we go. Crocodile Dundee said about a knife. That was it. Yeah, call that a knife. This is a knife. So yeah, I think once I change that extruder and hot end, and I actually need a new bit of Bowden tube, because the one I've got is it's just a little tiny bit too short. But for prints of about that tall, I'll be fine. But I got collar for 17 quid from an item. Yeah, Americans customs charge. What really annoys me is charging VAT on the shipping, because Britain can't charge VAT on an American service, can they? They can do it on an American product, but the shipping, that just seems a bit too much there, isn't it? But it's a, do you know what? My seat's falling apart. I thought I'd keep getting a little gap at the back. That's better. Where I kind of shoot forwards, it's pulled the cushion for, or push the cushion forwards. That's better. Yeah. So yeah, your choice is pay the customs fee or go without the item. And I was always told these customs charges are to protect British industry. But the thing is, this particular part you can't get from anywhere other than America. So it's not protecting British industry at all, is it?
No.
So what I'm after is an American upgrade on a Chinese printer. And but when I buy the printer from China, there's no customs fee. So I don't know if they've done a declaration that's really cheap. So
Could be, yes.
but I'm just being wary now of anything I buy abroad. And when we finally leave Europe, if
Or
we
it depends which way it comes in the country, basically. If
right,
it's flown in, you probably paying customs charge on the flight.
no,
As
I think
being
it doesn't
shipped in,
matter
you
how it
probably
comes in. But when we leave Europe, we'll start paying customs fees on anything that comes in from EU countries. So that's the impact, I'm afraid. So maybe that's why part works are now starting to go up.
could be, yes.
Love Minis has to go chase down her cats that went outside. So you take care, Love Minis. To be honest with you, I won't be far behind anyway, except I won't be chasing pussies.
Bye, love minis. Right.
So I've got multiple clicks. Yeah, just stop.
Right. Oh, District 9.
No. It'll probably be fixed tomorrow, though. The other thing I need to do actually is check E-steps, which is the speed at which the stepper motor rotates. So I need to make sure that's going correctly. Yeah, so yeah, I'm working. Oh, do you mind if I make an announcement about tomorrow's show?
Certainly.
Right. For
I don't
personal reasons, Horlicks won't be joining us tomorrow. He's got other things on. So it will be myself presenting the show on my own. So don't expect the best show ever, because you know I totally rely on Horlicks to make my show look half decent. But obviously, if anybody wants to come on the show, just drop us a message on Facebook, and they'll be welcome to come on. So what we're going to be doing is, yeah, not a problem, Chris. What we're going to be doing is assembling some of the planets to go on to the rods that we bent last week. Because my printer's been buggered all week, I've not had a chance to sort out the tube bender. We thought this was a 2mm tube bender, and we found out after the show it's not.
What's a 3mm, is it?
Yeah, here we go. So this is the tube bender that I made on the show. And what I thought this was the 2mm. If you hold them together, I don't know if you'll see, it is actually a 3mm. It's the same size, which explains why when I put the 2mm tube in, it was a little bit of give in there. Whereas this one, it was so tight, it actually held it in place. And the only difference between these two is that the actual the sidewall, I've made that thicker on the new one. So this needs to be redesigned. So I might have a go at that on stream. We've got a complicated one we want to design, which
you know when you did the half circle,
yeah,
you put a square on both sides.
yeah.
How about the bit you go and bend the tube round, you make it not 90 degrees off it, you make it slightly further away.
That was what we were going to look at, because when you bend it 90 degrees, you only actually bend it about 85 degrees, and then you've got to finish it off by hand. So we were looking at perhaps making it a little bit bigger. I don't know how I'm going to do that, to be honest with you, but we will give it a try.
When you make a square box, can you slightly rotate it when you
Yeah.
do the planning?
Yeah, Yeah, so we'll make the square bit, and then yeah, we'll flip it, rotate it, whatever we need to do. And I've got myself in a real Sultana mood now. So right,
Right.
we've got someone has just sent me a message about my pens. I don't know if he's watching your stream, but these might be useful for Terminator. We've come across these painting pens. I keep calling them Molotov, they're called.
Right, if they're the silver ones you've got, oh no, I haven't got those.
Right.
I've got the silver ones on my wish list.
Yeah, I got these. Here we go. We've got chrome one as well. Right.
Oh, sorry, the chrome ones.
I don't know which size this, but we'll just pretend this is the one I'm talking about. But these three I actually got with, I get a monthly box from Asset Drop, and they send me random paints and things, weathering powders, basically new things that that he thinks we may not have come across. So these two are, this is a metallic black. I've got to admit, I'm not over impressed with it. It's just a shiny black, really. But this is a really nice silver. But the one that we're all loving is this liquid chrome one. I think I've still got, there we go. I painted in on this box. And someone did ask me where I got them from. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of silver so you can see the difference between the two. Now, obviously, I got these from Asset Drop, but I've got another one of these which is bought for me from a subscriber on Amazon. So if you do an Amazon search on Molotov, MOLOTOW, liquid chrome. I don't know the URL offhand, but if you search that on Amazon, you will find it. So if you want one, and they're not really that expensive. So right, just bear with me a sec. I want to show you a comparison between the chrome and the silver. The silver is very good, but I think the chrome makes the silver look awful. Right, so what I've done is I've surrounded the chrome with the silver, and it is a good silver. This camera's not really doing it any justice. Plus it's wet and it's not come out smooth, but you see that chrome in the middle, that's really come out. You can see it's a mirror finish. So I can't quite see myself in it, but if you look at the chrome where I'm moving it, I'm actually getting reflections. You can see the color changes. So if you want one of these pens, they do various nib sizes. Between Asset Drop and a very kind subscriber, I've got, what have I got? I think I've got 1 mil and 2 mil now. I might be wrong. Sorry, this one. This is a 2 mil. This black is a 2 mil, and the silver is a 1.5 mil. So I think I've got a feeling I've got a 2 and a 4. I can't remember offhand. So yeah, if you're interested, that's where you get them from. I'll just write that into chat actually. So that's what you're looking for on Amazon. I don't know the link offhand, but that will come up with a match. So yeah. So is there anything else, Adrian?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I was just looking for something.
Yeah. Beat with Jay said he's posted a link, but can't. I'll see if I can find them. But I think they might be quite relevant for Terminator because
Well, if he posts the link to you, and if you post the link to me, then I can put it up. Actually,
what do you want? The 1 mil or the 2 mil or the refill?
well, hang on.
Or the 4 mil? Or the 3
I
in
don't
1?
know.
Pack of 3.
Is
Right.
this one you're on about? One of these?
That's the one. That's the 2 mil version. And I just found it by putting in Molotov liquid chrome. They also do a refill, which isn't a pen, but it enables you to refill the pens, or
There I go. I'll put the 2 mil one in the link.
right. But yeah, the refill, we believe you can put that through an airbrush. Yeah, you can. There's actually a picture of it in an airbrush. So yeah, that'll be a nice sort of fun thing to try. I did check my sultanas for stalks. So there you go.
Yeah, I found that basically anyone who's authorized to put links is only sure.
Right.
Guess can't
I'm guessing I can post a link because I'm a moderator.
could be. You could
Yeah,
try a
yeah.
different size.
Let's have a little experiment here. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with not allowing links. No, it's not allowing me to either. But that's fine. That's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Oh no, it's because I've gone over my limit. There we go. Right, ignore that last link because that's not going to work. Oh, it does work. Fair enough. So I've just posted a link for the refill. So
Yes.
yeah,
Hold
so
on.
I'm guessing moderators on your channel can. So excuse me, sorry, let's have a look at that. So it's a 30 ml bottle and it's 20 quid, which makes it roughly £6.5 for 8 ml, £10. Right. So yeah, the equivalent bottle of that is about £10, but these are about 3 quid. But these are ordinary paints. These I've got some metal colors. This is probably why I don't like the silver pen as much, because these Vallejo metal colors they're 32 ml bottles, but they're not 20 quid. They're more like a tenner. These are absolutely fantastic, probably the best metallics you can get. But they don't do well. I haven't tried the chrome, but I suspect they won't be as good as the pens. But I would certainly be personally, I'd be looking into getting the refills. So yeah, and apparently they go on to almost any surface, including wood. So that would be interesting to try out, wouldn't it? Chrome wood. But they certainly take practice to use. It's not just colouring in with a, mind you, the surface. I don't know if you can see this, but it's trying to separate on, but I'm painting on cardboard. So certain surfaces is obviously not going to like.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's going okay on a 3D printed part, but I suspect that it'll go better over paint or primer.
Yes, plastic. It could be that it could absorb it sort of thing, and
Yeah,
cardboard won't, because well, you've got that shiny surfaces. It
yeah.
depends on the
Yeah.
coating of it.
That's how it goes onto a 3D printed part. You see that's gone on quite smoothly. I'm going to have to play with the chrome one, but there's just so little effort involved. I mean, it will go with the chrome. You probably want to paint it black first, and it will look really nice. Someone did explain why we go black, black under metallic. It's got something to do with diffusing the light or something, or making the light better. But all I'm doing, I'm just doing a very quick scribble over this. Of course, I've got to use this pipe bender later on, haven't I?
Yes.
Right. Okay. They aren't dry, but that's the silver, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, that is a nice silver. But that is the chrome. It's just that when you hold the two together, when you hold the two together side by side, that chrome is so good. It makes the silver just look like grey. But I can show you that is a good silver. Not particularly loving the black, because to me that black is just it's just a glossy black. But that's what the black looks like. Can't really see it too well on the camera, but no, really nice pen. So thank you, Asset Drop, for introducing those, because then I could show them to you guys, and I believe quite a few people have started buying them. So that's all good. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think we should end the show. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from me. To my Karate Kid, goodbye. Oh, he has actually gone.